Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be about the monster side of the archive registry book for this game for Project Ichor. And up first, we have this monster, which is an undead creature that likes to possess things and cause mayhem. This is the Anak. As you can see here, it is a threat level orange, which means it's not a threat level yellow. You probably don't want your party to start out fighting these creatures um, in your, in your story, just because they are going to be a bit more of a pesky uh, mess sort of thing. So, as you can see here, with it has an ability called Soul Jack, and basically what it means is it forces their target to make a religion save. If the target fails, they are possessed. They are hijacked by this creature. If the target succeeds, then nothing happens. When that possession is successful, corruption is activated. This means that all the abilities and the stats, except for the resistances, the vulnerabilities, and the immunities, are now the Anax. They are now this monster. They also have this other thing like Visitant Presence, where any creature that is not undead sees this Anak, they have to succeed this save. Otherwise, they take on the Horrified debuff. Um, they also have to then continue the save until this creature is no longer visible. So now they have to keep like their mental state up. Um, they also have a -2 penalty to religion, resilience, and discipline. They could pass through solid surfaces, which is going to be really, really cool. One of those things that I didn't like about other TTRPGs was when a specter or like a ghost-like creature passed through a solid surface, they would take damage. I don't know how. I don't know why that's a thing. I feel like it's a stupid thing. Sort of throwing that out the window, and we're reversing it. What that means is any creature that the Anak passes through, they take damage instead of the Anak. So even if the Anak stops their turn within a solid surface, they're fine. They're not taking damage. That's what they're meant to do. So, boom. So, the whole point of this monster in my head when I was planning it out was I want an undead creature with the sole purpose, get it, pun intended, to possess other creatures and use those creatures' abilities to defend itself or to attack to cause mayhem. And I feel like that's what we kind of got to with the Anak. I do want to make some changes, some edits. All right, for the next one, the only one that I'm going to be showing for this video, that is the Abendgirl. The Abendgirl that when I was thinking about this idea, funny enough, I was actually also thinking about Skylanders, the video game, and I was like, what would be a really cool like plant or this kind of fungal toxic monster that lives in these natural habitats of like forests, woods, that sort of thing. And I was like, okay, cool. What kind of abilities would it have? And I was like, okay, what if it's really fast? It can bear underground, and its whole body is like toxic sludge. So I was like, okay, cool. So for Skylanders, like Stink Bomb, Tough Luck, and Crusher. And then I was like, okay, what about its aesthetics and like nastier side? Like, what kind of inspiration would be good for that? And I was thinking Stranger Things Mind Flare. That's what it has to be. And I think it's gonna be really, really cool that this creature's gonna get a resemble that sort of thing. So the Mind Flare side of things came about from Spread. This ability right here, Spread. Basically, what it means is it sheds a piece of itself, and after 3 rounds, that piece fully matures into another Abendgirl. And now you have to deal with 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. It also has a thing called Corrosive Body, which means that when someone makes an attack against it, they're going to take acid damage. The attacker is going to take that unless it's one of its vulnerabilities being fire or radiant. The other thing that I was trying to think about was what if what if we get some science behind this? So obviously when you're cleaning out like toxic materials, water isn't just the best thing to do. And the reason why is because water absorbs things. So if you are spraying a toxic area with just water, that's not going to help. That's not going to do anything. If anything else, it's going to spread that the toxicity and all the bad viruses and illnesses and all that stuff all over the place. And so what I want to go for next with another ability is basically whenever a hydro spell or some kind of event where it takes water damage, hydro damage, that it it doesn't heal per se, but it gets some kind of benefit to it. Maybe it splits into, maybe it grows in size. I think that'd be really cool. Like it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I think that'd be awesome. Um, and when it's, or maybe like when it gets sprayed with water, it sheds two more pieces of itself, and they fully grow into mature Abingrolls. And now it's like, oh crap, like this is gonna be scary as hell. So there's a lot of ideas that I have, and I'm not too sure what to do with them. The growing in size sounds really, really cool, but at the same time, I kind of don't want that to be the ability. I kind of like more where um, its uniqueness is that it likes to uh, it likes to spread out. It likes to spread and conquer. It doesn't like to grow in size and be selfish and take on things by itself. It likes to be in a pack. It likes to make its own group. So for that, I think that might be a passive ability. That's definitely going to be a passive ability. For an active ability, I'm not too sure yet. I think maybe Crow Sludge is good enough. Again, I don't know. My personal opinion is um, if the next ability that you're thinking for a monster is going to be something simple as like a claw attack, tail attack, or a bite attack, you're good. You don't need to write those down. You're good. Move on to the next monster. You don't need those abilities. Those abilities are so ingrained in our head. We don't need to write them down. We can already picture them and think about like, okay, cool. If this monster were to do a simple claw attack, what would it look like? Okay, it would look like the range would be like 10 feet. Boom. Okay, cool. It just does that. Um, and maybe it's not trying to hit anyone. It's just trying to like push them away to a better spot for them. That seems pretty good. If it's a grapple, cool. Um, that's gonna be like if he's trying to grapple someone, are they gonna be able to get out of the way? Cool. Okay, so like acrobatics, say for them, they're gonna do, and then like if they fail, then boom, they're automatically grappled. Boom, like plain and simple. So it's more like think critically and logically. Don't write mundane information. It's not useless. It's not useless, but it's very mundane and it's not important enough to be written down. Maybe in your notes, be like, hey, don't forget these abilities. Like these like simple, abilities that pretty much every monster has. That's totally fine. But I don't think it needs to be taking up space for, like a monster sheet in a book. I don't think it needs to do that. So maybe if it was like nothing but, a monster with 70 arms and 100 heads, maybe like a Hecatonchires, maybe that would be really cool. I think that'd be interesting to do. And, warrants enough to write down a claw attack or a fist attack or whatever. But even then, I don't think so. So, like, be mindful of what you're writing down for your monsters. Is this ability too mundane? If it is, don't write it. You don't need to. Is it unique enough that it needs to be written down? Otherwise, I'm going to forget it. Write it down. Write that down. So you have to be mindful of what you are planning and what you want to exercise. All right, but that's going to be it for this video. Sorry that it's a short one. I honestly thought it was going to be longer, but no. Anyways, thank you all so much. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, whatever, suggestions even, let me know down in the comment section below. I would love to hear your thoughts. And as always, Fara Viking, score!